Everyone knows excess weight is bad for our health, but battling the bulge is a fight too few of us win.
Hundreds of people have landed in the ER because of side effects from this popular weight loss drug.
Dolores, how long have you been on the Ozempic?
6 weeks.
Today, Oprah Winfrey sent Weight Watchers stock prices tumbling when she stepped down as the company's spokesperson after confirming recently she's taken medication to lose weight.
We don't have decades worth of data on these medications. We just don't in humans.
Number 7 had actual professionals speaking out because they were so concerned. But that's nothing compared to what happened at number 1. The internet didn't just react, it exposed the real cost of Hollywood's obsession with being thin. And honestly, after seeing what fans discovered, I'm not okay. We're talking about transformations so dramatic that even people defending them started getting worried. Red carpets turned into intervention calls. Award shows became discussions about impossible standards. And the photos that surfaced in December, they broke the internet for all the wrong reasons. So we all know about these transformations by now, right? But as of late 2025, things have gotten so much more complicated than anyone predicted. I'm talking about changes that had fans literally expressing concern online, not in a mean way, in a genuinely worried way. From the Golden Globes to the Wicked Press Tour, this year showcased transformations that made everyone stop scrolling and go, wait, is that really them? Parents started monitoring what their kids were watching. Teens began comparing themselves to images that aren't even realistic. And insiders, they started breaking their silence about what's really happening behind those red carpet smiles. This isn't about judging anyone for their choices. It's about recognizing a pattern that's affecting everyone from megastars to regular people scrolling social media at 2 a.m. thinking they need to look like that. We're counting down 29 transformations that define Hollywood's most concerning year yet, starting at 29 and working down to the most shocking revelation that proves this has spiraled completely out of control. But first, where are you watching from? Drop your city in the comments below, and if you're already hooked, smash that like button and subscribe because this gets wild.
Like, get off Ozempic. You don't look right.
I know you've already heard about Kelly, but hold on. December 2025 brought photos that had everyone doing a double take. Kelly stepped out at a London bakery event looking completely different. We're talking chin-length blonde waves, Marilyn Monroe vibes, and a figure so dramatically changed that fans commented, that is not Kelly, and unrecognizable. The reaction wasn't about her hair. Here's what makes this heartbreaking. Kelly's dad, Ozzy, passed away in July, and she's been open about her loss. When people started commenting with concerns, she fired back with the most raw response.
My dad and I'm doing the best that I can. And the only thing I have to live for right now is my family.
My dad just passed, and I'm doing the best that I can. The only thing I have to live for right now is my family. According to Kelly's public statements, she's credited her 85-pound loss to surgery and lifestyle changes years ago. But fans noticed something changed recently. The timing, the speed, the visible difference in just months. Insiders say grief can manifest physically, but the internet wasn't buying the explanation. And that's the tragic part. Whether it's stress, pressure, or something else entirely, Kelly's transformation became the latest example of how complicated these conversations have gotten. But wait till you see who made professionals question the entire industry.
I have found this thing that is so beautifully changed my noisy monkey chattering brain.
Number 28 made me emotional because of how honest she was. Rosie O'Donnell, and the caption that said everything. In May 2025, Rosie posted a photo with the words, "I can't believe this is me now," followed by 3 hashtags that told the whole story: Mounjaro, weight loss, and concerns about self-image. She went from size XL to size L. And unlike most celebrities, she didn't hide behind workout routines or diet secrets. Rosie's 63 years old. She's been in entertainment forever, and she straight up admitted she's using a GLP-1 medication and tagged her transformation with concerns about how she sees herself. That level of transparency is rare, but it also revealed something deeper. The changes work so well that even people using them feel disconnected from their own reflection. Fans praised her honesty, but also noticed something. The caption mentioned struggles with recognizing herself. When the physical change outpaces your mental adjustment, that's when things get complicated. And Rosie putting that in writing, it confirmed what many suspected about these rapid transformations. They affect your mindset as much as your appearance.
Yes, I am on a GLP-1 or a weight loss medication.
Okay, number 27 surprised me with how open they were. Jonathan Van Ness losing 66 pounds and calling it wellness treatment. The Queer Eye star revealed in October 2025 that they'd started a GLP-1 after a serious health scare in 2023. Jonathan framed it as managing their relationship with food, not vanity. They even got into Pilates and said, "My body has never looked like this," while showing off abs for the first time. But here's what made this complicated. Jonathan emphasized body neutrality, the idea that your worth isn't tied to appearance. Yet they also admitted to taking their shirt off a lot because of how good they felt about their new physique. Fans appreciated the honesty, but also noticed the contradiction. Can you preach body neutrality while celebrating extreme physical change? The answer seems to be yes, but it's messy. Jonathan's 70-pound transformation showed results that made them feel better mentally, but it also reinforced the exact beauty standards they'd previously pushed back against. And that internal conflict, it's exactly what makes this entire trend so concerning.
I found that my cholesterol went up to 200 when I gained the extra weight, and I used Mounjaro, and my cholesterol is 140 now. Well, I feel better. I think I look better.
Number 26 brought up something relatable. Sunny Hostin from The View gaining 40 pounds during lockdown and feeling pressure about going back on air. Sunny admitted on The View that she used Mounjaro because she was concerned about returning to television with the extra weight. Her cholesterol went from 200 to 140, which sounds like a health win. But listen to the framing. Concerned about her appearance on TV, not necessarily about her wellness initially. She said, "I feel better. I think I look better." And that's what this is about for people. That last part is the most honest thing anyone said about this trend. It's about looking better. The health benefits are a bonus, but the driving force, appearance, Sunny's transformation highlighted how many people turned to these options not because they were facing serious conditions, but because they gained weight during an unprecedented global crisis and felt pressure to snap back immediately. The pandemic changed a lot of people's relationship with their appearance, and Hollywood sold them a chemical solution.
Everyone naturally assumes, like, if you are on a weight loss medication, that it's Ozempic, because I think that was the first one that was a known thing.
Number 25 hit different because of the age factor. Tori Spelling and the baby weight that wouldn't budge. Tori, 52 years old and a mother of 5, came clean about using Mounjaro for weight that stuck around after her last pregnancy. She told fans she tried everything, but menopause made it impossible to lose weight naturally. So she turned to pharmaceutical help, framing it as addressing a medical situation rather than vanity. And look, on the surface, that makes sense. Hormonal changes are real. Postpartum weight combined with menopause is a nightmare scenario. But here's what fans noticed: the speed of the loss and the timing of the admission. Tori went from struggling for years to suddenly slim in months, and the explanation came only after people started asking questions. The concerning part? Tori represents a generation of women who've now been handed a shortcut after decades of diet culture telling them to just try harder. And while menopause is a valid struggle, the normalization of using these powerful options for baby weight set a standard that younger moms are now chasing.
I'm having a really hard time right now. My Mounjaro stopped working. I gained 20 pounds.
What?
20.
Number 24 was refreshingly honest. Dolores Catania from Real Housewives of New Jersey saying she has no shame taking what she needs. Dolores openly admitted on Watch What Happens Live that she's using it and doesn't care who knows. She even said it stopped working at one point and she gained 20 pounds back. So she adjusted. For Dolores, this is just another beauty treatment like Botox or fillers. No big deal. But that casual acceptance, it normalized something that's supposed to be prescribed for specific medical conditions. When a reality star treats a medical option like a spa appointment, it sends a message that anyone can and should access these treatments if they want to look good for a reunion episode. And that's exactly how we ended up with shortages that affect people who actually need them for documented health reasons. Number 23 made me laugh and then feel sad. Steve Harvey calling the pandemic his free years before jumping on the trend. Steve admitted he gained significant weight during pandemic, describing it as his period of not caring. Then, like so many others, reports suggest he decided to use pharmaceutical help to reverse it. He's been relatively quiet about specifics, but his transformation fits the pattern: pandemic gain, pharmaceutical loss, vague explanations about making healthier choices. What's interesting about Steve is that he's in his late 60s. At that age, sudden dramatic changes actually raise more wellness questions than praise. But Steve, like many men in his position, felt pressure to look a certain way on camera. And when everyone around you is shrinking, staying the same feels like falling behind.
What's up, everybody? Oh, I'm going on Ozempic.
Hold on. Number 22 broke my heart. Amanda Bynes saying she wanted to start these treatments to look better in paparazzi pictures. In June 25, Amanda revealed she was so excited about starting pharmaceutical weight loss because of how she'd appear in candid photos. This is the same Amanda who's been through public struggles with wellness and conservatorship. And her excitement wasn't about feeling healthier or stronger. It was about how strangers with cameras would capture her on the street. Think about that. After everything Amanda's been through, her focus was on looking acceptable to an industry that challenged her in the first place. Fans immediately expressed concern, not about her using the treatment, but about why she felt she needed to. The paparazzi justification revealed how deeply these beauty standards have embedded themselves, even in people who've been hurt by Hollywood's expectations.
So, sorry. She actually said, why don't you do a semaglutide, which is Ozempic. So I did that in December.
Okay, number 21 combined everything. Emily Simpson from Real Housewives of Orange County getting lipo, and then adding pharmaceutical help on top. Emily admitted she used it to kickstart weight loss alongside liposuction. So even surgery wasn't enough. She needed the chemical boost too. And that stacking of interventions shows how extreme the pressure has gotten. One method isn't sufficient anymore. People are combining surgery, treatments, all at once to achieve results fast enough for TV filming schedules. The normalization of this combination is concerning. Emily presented it casually, like it's standard procedure, but stacking weight loss methods creates compounding risks that most people don't fully understand until something goes wrong. Number 20 took a stand, Bella Thorne pushing back against the whole trend after feeling pressure from everyone else's transformations. Bella posted on Instagram stories saying, everybody's setting all these crazy beauty standards that nobody can keep up with unless you're on it. She followed with, I'm finally feeling good. It was defiant, it was frustrated, and it was real. But here's what fans noticed. Bella's statement came after she'd been working out intensely and posting about her own transformation. So while she was rejecting pharmaceutical help, she was also participating in the same culture of dramatic before and afters. The pressure to transform exists whether you use the treatments or not, and Bella's frustration showed how inescapable this standard has become. If this is resonating with you, hit that like button right now and drop your thoughts in the comments. Are you seeing this pressure in your own life? Number 19 showed the domino effect. Margaret Josephs admitting she joined her castmates because everyone on Bravo was doing it. Margaret said she had no shame taking these treatments to keep up with her co-stars. Think about that phrasing, keep up with her co-stars, not to manage a condition, not because her doctors insisted, because other women on her show were shrinking and she didn't want to be the only one who wasn't. This is where the Real Housewives universe became ground zero for the trend. When one cast member starts, the others feel pressure to match. Suddenly, entire casts are syncing their appearances like they're filming a music video, and Margaret's honesty about it revealed the competitive nature driving so many of these decisions.
Suspect randomly lost 20 pounds, says it's from working out, but she got on Ozempic.
Number 18 got complicated. Brooks Nader revealing her sisters staged an intervention because they thought she was becoming too dependent on GLP-1s. Brooks opened up about using these treatments and admitted, I had so many people reach out saying, I'm also struggling with dependence on GLP-1. Her own sisters got concerned enough to confront her directly. Think about what it takes for your family to stage an intervention over pharmaceutical use that's technically legal and doctor prescribed. Brooks's story confirmed what many suspected. These treatments can become psychologically compelling, even if they're not chemically addictive in the traditional sense. The results are so dramatic and so fast that people become dependent on continuing them to maintain their appearance. And when your own siblings are worried, that's when you know the situation has spiraled.
All of a sudden, was finally able to lose the weight that was so reminding me of the baby that I had lost.
Number 17 made me genuinely sad. Chrissy Teigen revealing on her podcast that she turned to these treatments after losing baby Jack. According to her podcast, Chrissy described feeling sadness seeing her pregnant belly with no baby in it. She'd gained 40 pounds during her pregnancy and felt stuck after the loss. She used pharmaceutical help to manage what she called her grief response to food. But then Chrissy admitted something revealing. She experienced what she called treatment blindness, being so excited about the rapid weight loss that you don't realize you've gone too far until you look back at photos. She said, you end up losing such an incredible amount that you're so excited you don't realize you've lost too much. That confession, based on her own words, revealed a potential psychological challenge. This thing works so well that it can bypass your natural feedback systems. You lose weight faster than your brain can adjust, and by the time you realize you've gone too far, you've fundamentally changed how you look. And doing that while processing grief, it's a challenging combination under industry pressures. I'm still frustrated about number 16, Meghan Trainor going from a positive anthem to surgical confession. Remember All About That Bass? Meghan became famous telling girls they're perfect as they are, that it's okay to not be a size 2. Then in March 2025, she posted on Instagram admitting she used Mounjaro after her second pregnancy. She worked with a dietitian, exercised with a trainer, and yes, I used science and support. The backlash was immediate. Fans who'd grown up with her empowering message felt betrayed, but here's where it got worse. At a May concert, Meghan changed her own lyrics. Instead of, "It's pretty clear I ain't no size 2, she sang, "It's pretty clear I got some new She edited her anthem to reference cosmetic procedures. Can you imagine? The song that gave millions of girls permission to love their curves became a punchline about her transformation. Meghan went from positive icon to cautionary tale about how even the loudest advocates eventually conform to industry pressure.
And I've recently gone on Ozempic. Everybody said, oh, she did it with Ozempic. Oh, she did. But that's not true. You know, I've started doing that about a year ago.
Number 15 was more complicated than headlines suggested. Kathy Bates losing 100 pounds over 7 years, but admitting pharmaceutical help for the last 20. Kathy, 76 years old, was transparent about her process. She credited mindfulness and lifestyle changes for 80 pounds, then admitted she used help for the final push. On the surface, that sounds reasonable, using a tool to finish a long journey. But here's what made fans uncomfortable. Kathy's admission came after she'd already received praise for her natural transformation. The truth came out only after people started asking questions directly, and that pattern of delayed honesty, claiming diet and exercise initially, then admitting pharmaceutical assistance later, has become the standard celebrity playbook. Girl number 14 showed the lingering stigma. Alexia and Marisol Patton from Real Housewives of Miami facing massive speculation after on-camera clinic visits. During filming, eagle-eyed fans spotted the pair getting injections at a clinic, and the internet exploded with questions. Alexia insisted they were B12 shots and fat-burning injections, specifically denying the most famous brand name while remaining vague about what exactly they were getting. The denial strategy became fascinating. By saying, it's not that one specific thing, they technically maintained deniability, while the visual evidence suggested otherwise. Their transformations, combined with the on-camera clinic footage, created a perfect storm of speculation that they couldn't fully escape. What made this notable was the geographic element. Miami's Latin American market still carries more stigma around pharmaceutical assistance than other cities. The pressure to deny was stronger there, even when the evidence was literally filmed for reality TV.
I've tried everything. It's just the science for me, calories in versus calories out. Ozempic works because...
Number 13 actually broke me. Lizzo losing weight and admitting she doesn't feel as free anymore. Lizzo built an empire on self-love and positivity. Good as Hell wasn't just a song, it was a movement. Then in January 2025, she posted her transformation stats. In June, she admitted on a podcast, I've tried everything. It makes you feel full. I'm healthier, but I don't feel as free as before. I was happier when I was bigger. That last confession hit like a truck. The woman who taught millions to love themselves just admitted she was happier before she changed. Entertainment insiders revealed record label pressure. Streaming numbers dipped. Executives pushed for a more marketable image. Lizzo's transformation wasn't just personal, it was professional survival. And that's what makes this so painful. If even Lizzo, the literal queen of self-acceptance, couldn't withstand the pressure, what hope do regular people have? Her admission that she was happier before symbolized the collapse of the entire positivity movement. The industry won.
You know, it's not a sin to use Ozempic if you have a weight problem, so why not talk about it?
Number 12 became the cautionary tale everyone references. Sharon Osbourne losing 42 pounds and openly calling it brutal. According to Sharon's public statements, she ended up looking more drawn than she intended and losing her vitality. She told interviewers, I'd do it differently, and thin didn't feel like me. She revealed she'd been pressured to lose weight post-Osbourne's and during America's Got Talent judging. The pharmaceutical option became her shortcut to staying relevant on screen. But Sharon's honesty about the cost was rare. She admitted she didn't recognize herself in the mirror. She lost more than just weight. She lost the energy and fullness that made her who she was. Her warning came too late for many who'd already started following her path. But but it stands as one of the few celebrity admissions that maybe, just maybe, this isn't worth it.
A miracle moment in the life of being a person with obesity.
Number 11 was a cultural earthquake. Oprah Winfrey, after decades of diet struggles, finally admitting she used pharmaceutical help. For years, Oprah was the avatar of willpower. She pulled that wagon of fat onto a stage to prove weight loss was about discipline. She partnered with Weight Watchers, built an empire on transformation journeys. Then in 2025, she stepped down from Weight Watchers board and admitted she'd been using medication all along. Oprah called it relief, redemption, and a gift. She said the option to silence food noise felt like finally having control. But fans noticed the timing. She promoted Weight Watchers while privately using pharmaceutical help. The conflict of interest was glaring. Oprah's admission effectively ended the traditional diet industry. If she couldn't do it with points in meetings, what chance do regular people have? Her transformation from diet warrior to pharmaceutical user showed that even with unlimited resources and decades of trying, sometimes biology wins. But it also revealed that the just try harder message she'd sold for years was built on a foundation that was about hold on. Number 10 was staggering. Whoopi Goldberg telling Kelly Clarkson she'd lost the weight of almost 2 people on Mounjaro. Whoopi, 69 years old, confirmed she dropped over 100 pounds. She described the treatment as a part of me and framed it as medical necessity for someone who'd weighed 300 pounds.
Weighed almost 300 pounds when I made Till.
Her announcement on The View in March triggered a 29% surge in appointment requests within 72 hours, the biggest spike of 2025. But here's what Whoopi revealed in later interviews that concerned fans. I'm learning to eat again. My body doesn't know hunger anymore. It's strange. She admitted needing cat naps during tapings because of fatigue. The side effects she experienced, loss of natural hunger signals, persistent tiredness, are rarely discussed in those glowing transformation posts. Whoopi's transformation from acceptance advocate to pharmaceutical user mirrored Oprah's journey. Both spent decades in the public eye struggling with weight. Both eventually turned to medical help. And both of their admissions sent a message to millions. If they needed pharmaceutical intervention, everyone else probably does too. Halfway through, and this is getting intense. If you're hooked on these insights, hit that subscribe button right now so you don't miss what's coming.
I wake up, I drink 16 ounces of room temperature water.
Number 9 is the one nobody wants to address. Mindy Kaling looking completely different and choosing not to explain why. At the February 2025 Oscars screening, Mindy stepped out in a form-fitting dress showing a dramatic transformation. Fans estimate 60+ pounds lost. According to her public statements, she's credited cardio and weight training, hiking, running 20 miles per week. But some observers noted the timeline appeared unusually rapid. Here's what makes this fascinating. Mindy's always been open about everything. Relationships, motherhood, career struggles. But when it comes to this obvious physical change, she's chosen privacy. She had her third baby in 2024, and the transformation accelerated post-pregnancy. Some fans noticed potential cosmetic refinements alongside the weight loss. Mindy told People in May 2023, "I'm feeling really confident in these days," which is not something I've been able to say for my whole life. That statement came early in her transformation, suggesting she was aware of the change before making it widely public. Her choice to remain private since then has sparked ongoing discussion.
Aguilera sparked concern from her fans about her drastic weight loss after she posted a video.
Christina Aguilera is turning heads with her dramatic weight loss.
Number 8 genuinely shocked me. Christina Aguilera showing up to promote burlesque looking so different that fans questioned if it was even her. Christina appeared in an olive dress in 2025 and the comments exploded. Christina doesn't even look like Christina anymore became the refrain on every post. People who've watched her since Genie in a Bottle were doing double takes trying to figure out if the promotional photos were actually her. According to media reports, the powerhouse vocalist appeared notably thinner, with more angular features that some experts suggested often accompany rapid transformation methods. But it wasn't just her face. Observers noted her entire physique looked completely different from the woman who'd belted out anthems for 2 decades. When someone's appearance changes so dramatically that people struggle to connect the current version with the person they've known for 20+ years, something has shifted beyond normal aging or lifestyle changes. Christina became another example of how these transformations can completely override decades of public familiarity. Number 7 had actual doctors speaking out publicly. Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo during the Wicked press tour, sparking global discussion. At the 2025 Golden Globes and Oscars, both leads appeared noticeably thinner. Ariana in her pink Schiaparelli gown and Cynthia in sleeveless white showcased frames that had fans immediately expressing concern. Social media comments included, "Is she okay?" and "This is raising questions." But here's where it escalated beyond typical speculation. Plastic Plastic surgeon Dr. Dennis Schimpf publicly commented on their appearances, which almost never happens. He explained what happens with rapid loss and how it affects overall appearance, specifically noting visible changes in their red carpet photos. The Wicked press tour became known as the Wizard of Ozempic online. Fans joked about the connection, but behind the jokes was genuine worry. Parents started commenting about their daughters using Ariana and Cynthia as inspo, while clearly struggling with their own wellness. Both women described brutal filming schedules.
That people have commenting on that I think is really dangerous. And I think it's dangerous for all parties involved because no one has the right to say.
Cynthia admitted, "We worked ourselves to the bone. Labor strikes shut down production." And Cynthia confessed she was secretly grateful for the rest. But the question remained, where does role preparation end and industry pressure begin? That's when concern crossed into crisis territory. Melissa McCarthy showcasing a 95-pound loss while crediting not worrying about it. According to reports, the timing and magnitude prompted speculation despite Melissa's insistence that she just stop stressing about her weight. But here's what made fans question the narrative, the speed and the dramatic visibility of the change. Melissa's built a career as the funny, relatable, every woman. Her appearance was part of her brand. The transformation forced an uncomfortable question. Will Hollywood allow Melissa to exist as a serious lead at any size? Or did she trade her unique positioning for a more conventional appearance in an industry that already has thousands of those? Her distinctive presence defined her career, and changing that visual marker might have affected the very thing that made her special.
Everybody thinks it's Ozempic. It's not. It's something else. But
Kelly Clarkson finally admitting she's using something, but insisting it's not what everyone thinks. Kelly lost 60-plus pounds and initially credited walking and protein. Then in May 2024 on her show, she admitted, "Mine is a different one than people assume, but I ended up having to do that too because my blood work got so bad." She wouldn't name the specific option, just emphasized it wasn't the one everyone talks about. That distinction, it's different from what you think, became the new celebrity playbook. Deny the most famous name while admitting to pharmaceutical help. It's technically honest while avoiding the specific stigma attached to one brand. Kelly's strategy let her maintain relatability while participating in the trend. The blood work justification also became standard. Frame it as medical necessity based on lab results, not vanity, even if the transformation happens to make you look exactly like everyone else who's openly admitted to using these treatments. Top 5 coming up, and it gets even more intense. Smash that like button if you want more celebrity updates like this.
No, it shows the Mounjaro.
Scott Disick getting accidentally exposed when Khloe Kardashian spotted boxes of Mounjaro in his fridge during the Kardashians. During a casual episode, eagle-eyed viewers, and eventually Khloe herself, noticed the medication clearly visible in Scott's refrigerator. His reaction was surprise mixed with eventual acceptance. "I'm not embarrassed." The moment shattered any illusion of his transformation being natural. According to fan commentary, Scott's appearance had already prompted discussion. Observers compared his changed look to fashion trends from the 90s. Reports suggested his features appeared more drawn, with a noticeably different frame compared to his previous build. For men, thinness often prompts concern rather than praise, and Scott became the focal point for worry about where this trend was heading for guys. The fridge incident became symbolic of how casually these treatments had infiltrated celebrity homes. They're sitting right there next to the sparkling water and meal prep, normalized to the point where forgetting they're on camera seems reasonable. And that casual acceptance in the Kardashian universe, arguably the most influential family in modern celebrity culture, set a standard that millions absorb. Number 2 introduced a terrifying new dimension. Robbie Williams experiencing blurry vision and struggling to distinguish faces from the stage. The British pop icon, battling weight scrutiny since his Take That days, debuted a noticeably slimmer frame in 2025. He called his issue Type 2 self-loathing, but then Robbie revealed something that made everyone stop. In November 2025, he admitted he couldn't see clearly. His vision was blurring. He couldn't distinguish faces in the crowd, and he explicitly linked it to his use of these treatments, referencing studies connecting them to neon, a condition that can lead to permanent vision concerns. According to his statements, what he called his Christmas miracle came with a price that money couldn't fix. Robbie's disclosure forced a conversation that had been carefully avoided. What are the long-term health consequences we're not talking about? If losing your eyesight is a potential risk, is any aesthetic goal worth it? Fans began asking the question that should have been asked from the start: is the perfect silhouette worth your sight? Taking number 1 isn't a single celebrity. It's the realization of what this entire year exposed about where we're headed. Because here's what really happened in late 2025. According to a registered dietitian speaking to the Daily Mail, the Golden Globes had so many dramatic transformations that professionals estimated a significant percentage of celebrities there were likely using GLP-1 medications. Award shows became showcases for pharmaceutical results. Red carpets turned into before and after comparisons. But then something shifted. Fans started noticing the same patterns. More drawn features, prominent bones, visible changes through designer gowns. Professionals began speaking out. Dr. Schimpf's public commentary wasn't about judging anyone. It was about concern that this had become the new normal. And here's the truth that needs to be said. This standard isn't for us. It was never meant to be for us. Here's what's really important to understand. These medications, GLP-1s like Ozempic, were specifically designed and approved for people with documented medical conditions. That's who these treatments were created for. That's who they should be reserved for. But what happened in Hollywood? These treatments got repurposed for aesthetic goals. And because celebrities have millions of fans, young people, impressionable audiences, people who look up to them, that sends a message. When someone with 50 million Instagram followers transforms their appearance using something designed for people who need it, those 50 million people absorb that as normal, as something they should want, as something they should be able to access to. That's why this conversation matters, to highlight that these powerful tools have a purpose, and that purpose isn't vanity. When they get used for aesthetic reasons by people who don't have documented medical necessity, it creates shortages for people who actually need them. It normalizes pharmaceutical intervention for appearance in ways that affect millions of followers, and it sets a standard that regular people can't and shouldn't try to chase. These transformations happen under supervision with teams of professionals monitoring. They have nutritionists, trainers, and doctors on speed dial. They have the resources to handle complications immediately. Most importantly, their careers depend on their appearance in ways that regular life doesn't. But when we see these results on red carpets, we absorb the message that this is attainable, that this is what we should look like, that if they can do it, we should be able to do it too. And that's where the real danger lives. This year proved that no amount of money, fame, or success protects you from industry pressure. If Lizzo couldn't maintain her advocacy, if Oprah needed pharmaceutical help after decades of trying, then the system isn't broken. The system is working exactly as designed. And that design isn't meant to help us feel better. It's meant to create an impossible standard that keeps us chasing, buying, and believing that if we just had access to the same tools, we'd finally be enough. But you already are enough. Your wellness and happiness matter more than matching a standard created by an industry that profits from insecurity. And recognizing that Hollywood's pharmaceutical revolution isn't a roadmap for regular life. That's not giving up. That's choosing reality over a manufactured ideal. The transformations we saw this year weren't about wellness or happiness. According to their own statements, Lizzo admitted she was happier before. Chrissy described going too far. Sharon warned it was brutal. These aren't success stories. These are cautionary tales wrapped in designer gowns and red carpet lighting. And the saddest part, the positive movements we spent a decade building collapsed in under 2 years. Not because they were wrong, but because pharmaceutical intervention became easier than systemic change. It's simpler to chemically modify appearance than to challenge beauty standards. It's more profitable to sell solutions than to question why we need them. If this exposed the truth behind Hollywood's impossible standards, hit subscribe so you never miss when we break down what's really happening behind those perfect red carpet photos.